Shaquem still. Plenty of people out there. Can you hear me? Don Bishop. Still. Waiting for a few more people. With it, I miss crew. Yeah, I gotta do, YouTube doesn't necessarily, they don't necessarily like what I'm saying. I got sincere. So we gotta get the word out on our own. Refrigeration class right now. Interesting. See what's going on. I mean, yeah, I gotta figure that out. How to get the alerts. Last night was kind of like that. Where by the time a lot of people came on, I think we already covered most of the good stuff. Other people, yeah, when we say, when we ask for degrees, people is on, yeah, you're right. We didn't get a lot of input on it. All right, 3 classes left to graduate with an associate's degree. Yeah, that's the type of thing we got to start doing because, a lot of us have done a decent job at that, at employing ourselves. But, we got to start getting to the levels of expertise where we can exercise that and, kind of the same way. It's not all the same exact pitfalls. But in terms of, the youth not really having no avenues, that they can clearly see the way to making a living. They start to get caught up in various street ills and pitfalls. Let's see who else. Usually we wait till we get a certain amount of people, but because we haven't been hitting it recently, people come on kind of slowly. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on on remaining civilized, because uh, just some observation of mine is that friendship can become a barrier to remaining civilized. See, in the nation, you got a lot of people that come around, and of course, it's a good experience. We're family, but you try to have your that friendship experience trump the actual family bond. See, our family bond is this culture. Like, yeah, we enjoy our time amongst each other, right? We build, on serious matters and lighthearted matters. Bishop said, I've been burying family members for the last few months. That's why I've been MIA. Yeah, I know how that is. Everybody's been getting hit hard in these last couple of years. But, like I said, friendship is not what we're here for. 793rd. And I seen that kind of get in the way of a lot of people and what they can potentially accomplish in the knowledge, you know, and just in their individual accomplishments. Especially, a lot of the people these days, you get the knowledge at a later age. You know what I'm saying? When you get the knowledge at a young age, yeah, you playing around a lot. You see, even when, you know, uh, you coming together, right? And you coming together to smoke and drink. You're not coming together with any type of ideas. And see, slowly over time, right? If that's what you're doing, then that becomes your way of life. And see, we're aware of that, meaning, brothers and sisters that have a degree of experience, right, in living this out. So that's why when people come amongst us, especially if you're just coming around, we want to know if you know your lessons. Because, look, anybody can tell us jokes. We could talk about basketball with anybody. We can talk about hip hop with anybody. You see, we can only, you know, reach the most basic level or the most complex level of supreme mathematics with somebody who has the same mindset. And not just the same mindset, but, you know, they're making that kinetically active through arm, leg, arm, supreme head. See, Don Bishop, I'm not going to touch that one. You got it. That's biblical. But that's the signs of remaining civilized. See, because, see, like I said, if you can't remain civilized, a lot of times that shows you that you was just a paperclip. See, that's why my knowledge adds a cipher. See, if you was just a paperclip, then yeah, you came and you add your knowledge onto the cipher or whatever. But then when the cipher's going, you going. So you got brothers being listen, you know, in high school, in jail, in college, different places where they was around a group of people and they became civilized. But did they remain civilized? Was you just being influenced, or was that really your way of life? When I was first getting the knowledge, I recall my grandmother saying, uh, it's just a phase. But over time of me remaining civilized and increasing my level of civilization, she came to see that, now that's, then it changed to like, well, look, can you just come to the family events? Like, don't look at it as Thanksgiving. Don't look at it as Christmas. Look at it as Festivus. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake. But that was actually the way, I grew up in this. Is that, listen, we don't have no friends. We have, we love our brothers and sisters, even with all their bullshit. But we don't really have friends like that. So that's why a lot of people kind of be like, yo, the guy didn't, the guy didn't like me. I wasn't even thinking like that. you know, first of all, from New York. So just, generally speaking, we know to have a kind of edge where, we don't really speak to strangers like that. But then on top of that, that is my training as a 5%, is that you don't have friends. Yeah. What they don't use, you can put them on this back in there. All right, no doubt. 851 mother guys. Open the book, open the library. Yeah, upstairs. They said she was acting funny. Yeah. Probably so. You know, they never this young man. No, that Conrad's nigga, I do that. She didn't sit there and think. Yeah. We cut it out, man. I'm on the live, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, yo, no, great. Darkim say peace, man. Peace, so yeah, I said peace. He said peace, man. Speaking of that, yeah, certain love when it comes out. I got that information for him too. Yeah, I'm trying to keep on. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I was saying also about the, if you've had the knowledge for a period of time, right? You've had the experience of remaining civilized. And so there's some things that, you're going to look at as important. Look, stay in tune with your lessons. It's one of it's one of the most important aspects of remaining civilized. I never strayed away, so I don't know, but I know that people that I've run into, right, that that have fallen into whatever, that's always hand in hand. They haven't built on their lessons in whatever amount of time. You see, at one time, the lessons right now, you can download it off the internet. You could buy it on Amazon in the black and gold version. You can buy the red and white version. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Instagram and hear people quoting it, every day. At one time, the lessons was like the elixir of life. You like mustard? You know how you see the medieval people when they be looking for the fountain of youth or the sword of power so they could rule. That's how it was to get the lessons. You didn't get the whole thing. You got a little bit at a time. And then each time you have to go through the gauntlet to get the next lesson. West Coast. And so that's why to us is much more, the value of it is different. Like when somebody got a new lesson, you could tell Like I'm talking about when you saw them walking from 2 blocks away, they was walking with a walk where you could tell like they just got some new lessons. So see now that it's just out there, I think just the kind of value and the importance of it is different. You know what I'm saying? And the, you know, not having the experience of, just, you seeing people. Like I'm talking about you, you're when you building in ciphers, right? You might be on the one at 36. But every day when you come to the cipher, you hear brothers build on the one of 14 and the one of 40. You see, all of that is going into your growth and development so that by the time you start experiencing these other things, by the time you start coming in tune with other nations and they start teaching you about their morals and principles, by the time you start reading these other books that's telling you about whatever, historical events, accurate or inaccurate, you was on point with your lessons. See, if you completed that, then you will realize, look, I ain't got to mix with all this other stuff. Meaning, you know, and now that's one of the things you have, with people trying to make some kind of hybrid stuff. You got people, like I said, you got a hyphen on God. Cern Love, were you the one that asked the question about the manifestation of the flag? I'm pretty sure that was you. True self. Was that you, Cern Love? In 1978. He said, what would you say this generation is doing better than what was done in the past? Y'all pay your taxes. See, let me tell you something, man. Here's the thing. You gotta understand is look at the world that y'all in. Not just, I'm talking about all of y'all, the homes where y'all at. Think about where y'all at. Right now, Don Bishop, he's from Queens, right? So he's from New York too. Don Bishop. Like I'm not even going to say that. You just did. That's a little glad TV, exactly. I'm not even, I'm not even going to say that. But see, look, this is what I'm saying, right? Even in terms of what I always say that, look, if you think it's difficult with people asking you lessons, right? Here's the real deal. You know, I've lived through the peak of it. Like I had, my formative years, my young years, I got to do everything, even to say, with music that, I was there in that time, in that place where it was. But see, look at where some of y'all is at, man. Some of y'all is in the desert of knowledge, not in the desert as far as Queens, not in the desert as far as the Gobi in the Sahara, but the desert as far as you come on here and you tell me you're only 5% of where you at. Some of y'all is in gangland America, man. Where, it's gangs been entrenched for generations. And that's your home. That's where you got to do your teaching at. You think you're going to do that and you don't even know your lessons? You don't even have nothing that separates you from these people that you call a savage. You don't have nothing that you can show them, right? That you built from your own self, right? Your own perpendicular, right? What you built from the foundation of your square, right? How you supposed to do that? If you think you came out here and we was tough on you about asking you some questions, how you gonna go on these people's turf and start talking about, you God and everybody should come by you? I mean, look, if I'm wrong, the floor is open. If y'all have a way that y'all going to do that, because look, where's the other entity that did it like Allah and his sons and daughters did it? Where's the other entity? And that's how it was done. Brothers being on point and being able to articulate and live out these principles. So I'll leave that open for the rest of the class. That's an open question. How y'all plan on doing that? This is what I'm saying. The stuff you come back and tell me, like, don't we you playing me for? I thought we was the guys. That's what's over there in your land. Our land wasn't always like this. Brothers had to establish that. We see everything that we do. See, Allah was never convicted of no crime. But see, at that time, you couldn't go nowhere in the system and say you got. See, now we can send our kids to school. Darkim Be Allah. The leisure equality earth. We send them to school like that. So you could go into jail and you can have the the national, you can have a national group where y'all have meetings and all that with y'all literature. You can do that now. And the reason why you can do that now, right, is because of the blueprint that was laid down, right? And amongst the first elements, right? Look, can't eat pig, gotta know your lessons. You ain't gotta guess. Here's the paper with a list of everything that's pig. Everything that's got pig in it. Here's a paper, with the lessons on it. You gotta write this down. You don't gotta guess. We gave you the answers. I'm still waiting. Yesterday we didn't get, but that's not a rhetorical question. For everybody that's taken a million years to learn their lessons, or 2 million years to renew their history, or whatever you're doing, right? See, you can tell me the most you can tell me how you save yourself. But that's not what the 16th degree says. See now, look. See, even for the people that look, you some people they don't want to answer because you don't want to give a wrong answer. But look, I'm gonna make it easy. You got 5%, 10%, and 85%, right? Which group of people is the group that only save themselves? Hint. Hold on, let me give you a hint. They have the knowledge and they only save themselves. Come on, even the people in the background that's scared should be able to get this one. Shem King said a verbal justice is a rite of passage and lets you know it's going to be a bumpy road out in the wilderness. As Prince and not with those clowns who say there's no gods here, even though there were brothers here before I got the knowledge, I still made my presence known by teaching. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But, you know, how would you do that? You know what I'm saying? If you don't have, because think about it, at that point, you just are destroyed. Meaning you can come around and tell them that Christianity, right, is, whatever you want to say about it, right? And you can come and tell them that the system is doing this, right? But you didn't build. You didn't plant no seed. Yeah, G. I'm gonna build with you then back up. No doubt. Actually, we got some time. See where we up to. Who's in it? Who's in it? Who's in it? Who's in the room with us today? You know, we're gonna act, especially because we got Don Bishop in here. He's one of our worst culprits. He's one of our worst culprits that we gotta watch. And we're gonna go ahead and ask for questions. We're gonna go ahead and ask if anybody got any questions early today. Because I don't wanna beat people in the head, but uh, I think that's important for everybody to start, studying your lessons, and exercising your mathematics and getting things on point. Because see, as the first brothers that walk with Allah, you know what I'm saying, as they not on this plane with us no more, gradually over time, we don't want to have to just be relying on stories. Like, yeah, we got the history and we know what it is, right? And we realize, what is things that happened that got us to the point where we are right now. And you know, we use it to determine our direction and all of that. But we right here, right now. Those people already did what they did, their penalties and rewards have already been, they've already received them. And, slowly over time, you go from, a nation where, everybody was scientists to a nation where you got certain preachers. Certain people that tell you tell you how to see things and how things is. And you don't have no self-balancing scale to analyze that for yourself. And then, this would go way off the deep end. You put me on to the knowledge. What you mean? Like how I first found out that the knowledge existed. Yeah, it was a brother that rested on my block. He probably was the first person. I didn't even know he was God though. It's really only looking back, I realized that he actually was like people used to come around to build with him. Like the, new people that was just getting the knowledge, they used to come, but I never knew his righteous name in that. He was just one of the older brothers that used to hustle there on the corner. And we used to play video games inside. And then I think he gave the knowledge to this brother named Jerry that lived in my building on the first floor. And Jerry was the first person that I heard say, I'm God. He didn't say the black man is God. He didn't tell us that we was God, but he said he was God. And but when I asked him about it, he couldn't show and prove it. So years later, not that much years, but in little kid time, years later, I started maintaining with these brothers, and we slowly started. The first brother, he probably got it like 85, maybe 86. Something I don't really know, but I know he was the first person that I saw with the lessons. Like I saw him studying the lessons, and actually, he used to give me the pay. I remember when he was on the 1 and 10. He gave me the paper. He was like, "Yo, ask me, all of this stuff right here." And so they started bringing me around the guys, because you know it was three of us. So once those two had the knowledge, then now like that's kind of the big influence. So at that time, it was like we still was young, so like when we used to hang out at that time, if if you went in the house and say it was like 8 o'clock, and then you wanted to go back outside, then your parents might be like, nah, it's too late to go outside right now. But if you was already outside and it was 8 o'clock, you didn't have to come back in. So that was like one of the things that we used to do to kill time before it got nighttime and we went to do what we really wanted to do, like parties or go to 42nd Street or whatever. We used to go around the gods. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to brothers' cribs and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that was how I first started getting introduced to the 5%. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, after I saw, all of this stuff I was seeing, I was experiencing, but it was really when I seen the supreme mathematics. How I ended up seeing all that other stuff first, can't tell you, but that's how I first, but during the time that I was alive, though, a lot of the different blocks that I rested on, once I got the knowledge and I'd seen the history, it was like, yeah, the brothers was right there. But that's how I found out who and what the 5% is. It's
Darkim. Keep an eye up front, man. The dog.
All right.
And everything's in the back, Doc.
All right, no doubt. All right. Is Jerry still a 5%? There's somebody I can ask because there's a brother that comes to the rally that I actually knew him at that time. And he was one of the people we used to actually go around. The brother that I told you that, later on I realized that, he was somebody that had a degree of wisdom and understanding that people was learning from him. Me and his brother, we used to be around him, and hear the stuff that he said, but we didn't know what it meant. And his cousin also was one of the first people. Wise still got the knowledge. I don't know where he at, but Wise still got the knowledge. Jerry, yeah, I would have to ask that brother. He might know. He's probably seen him since I saw him, but those was the first. Those people right there was the first people that had the knowledge that I knew. Like it was, you see people with crowns and all, but I don't know the difference between the tassel and no tassel, at 5, 6 years old. Guess we don't have a lot of questions today. But anyway, yes, we've had a good time. We've made some knowledge more. Do I think I'm as prolific as Prince with teaching? Uh, I mean, that's difficult to say. Uh, see, a lot of things is timing. You know what I'm saying? You can't really measure like that because it's a treat. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't really uh it was more branches by the time I came. You know what I'm saying? We had more uh reach as a nation. You know what I'm saying? But I guess maybe some of y'all out there would be better to answer that question, right? Because I don't really have a real concept on what it is to be teaching the knowledge in an atmosphere where nobody has the knowledge, right? And most of them is against you. You see what I'm saying? You gotta you gotta add that into the weight of things in order to make it fair. Child famous, yeah, that project. Listen, I'm not this. uh I guess you could say, yeah, that's my work, but yeah, I'm not affiliated with that. That's some music industry shit where they put that out. Trust me, if I had anything to do with that, that'd have been different. But I heard a couple excerpts off it. Nah, it's not really. See, that's the thing. It's that uh you can't really separate it because uh like that's what I'm saying. When you say with a lot of Prince, everybody teach their people, right? And then those people go out and teach other people. You see what I'm saying? And so, there's no, like to try to separate it, right? Is to try to break down into parts the actual mechanism of the 5%. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we do. That's this culture. You know what I'm saying? But each of us, uh, when we come in our time, that's how much more power we have to uh to 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 affect the world. But it's not necessarily a function of you as an individual. You know what I'm saying? It's a function of the growth and development of the nation. You know what I'm saying? That, right now, there's a dude here from France, right? And his background is, I think, from Algeria. You know what I'm saying? And he came here, because he heard about the 5% and that this is the root. You understand what I'm saying? When the law was around, people were coming from the 5 boroughs. But you have those people came from Japan. But, just saying generally speaking. Yeah, see, born law right there. Yes, it's a different dynamic to teach with where nobody knows where you at. See, I don't know what that is like. So it's a different league I'm playing. I'm playing a different sport. It's like the 1980s NBA against the 2023 NBA. So I'm playing 2023 NBA where, you we, we above the rim, baby. It looks good. You know what I'm saying? But you probably wouldn't be doing that with the old rules. But yeah, Mr. Green, when that, you know what that is? See, and I don't want to really get ask him about it because I think he stole some of those beats from me. I remember giving him that many beats to make that whole project. But you know what I think happened? When you selling beats, right? You send out an amount of beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the person pick whichever one and shit, right? So I'm like, man, I don't know. But I'm gonna just leave it alone. I'm not gonna stress it. I ain't got time right now. It's now just the first people you were in tune with outside of New York that had the knowledge. The first people I knew outside New York that had the knowledge. Shit, Warner Law was one of the first people I knew outside of New York that had the knowledge. Uh, hmm. Well, you gotta remember, Jersey was New Jerusalem from from uh from back then. You know what I'm saying? Now Jess and all that, y'all started that later. You know, uh, so I knew it was brothers in Jersey. I'm trying to think who was the first brother that I actually met from out there. Though. You know who's from Jersey? And I knew him early, but I thought he was from Medina. Uh, Supreme Man that comes on the live. He was one of the first brothers I knew from Jersey. Uh, man, Natural from Patterson. I knew him. I was seeing him at the rallies way back in the days. I'm trying to think. There was a few people that was coming, but sometime around 90, 91, something like that, they started bringing these buses. Like I'm talking about like 5 fucking charter buses or something of brothers from New Jersey. Oh yeah, there was some people from Asbury that I knew. There were some people from Asbury that I knew when I first got to knowledge. And some people from Long Island. But yeah, I really wasn't, when I really first started seeing people from outside of New York, I was wondering how they got the knowledge. Now the question was New Jerusalem the first people I was in tune with outside of New York that had the knowledge? Then I'm gonna tell you another thing.
Getting ready to go, Jim.
Is that late already? It ain't that time.
Ready after that time.
What you doing? Boy, it look like it's late out there.
It's still night. Oh, he knocking up somebody across the street.
Where's Infinite?
I ain't see him. He's 927.
It closes the door.
He supposed to be on his way.
But there was something else though too. I can't recall what year that was, but like in that was like 90 or 91 or something like that. There was a summit, I think in Philadelphia. And it might have been one in somewhere in Massachusetts too, where all the brothers came from, all over the places that it was at that time. A lot of places probably didn't have the knowledge yet back then, but that was another thing where I first met a lot of the brothers that wasn't from New York. That was probably one of my first times meeting a lot of people that wasn't from New York. And peace, maybe like 92. The brothers in Texas, I'm pretty sure Dallas, they sent an invitation. Like they invited the guys to come down, and see the nation down there. I guess they had their rallies or whatever. That was another thing. We went to the rally in Philadelphia when it was in Temple University. But anyway, when they went down to Dallas, there's a picture, I think it's in the school, of that they took at a cipher down there. And I remember, we saw the brothers, they was like they going down there. I remember Umala went down there. I'm pretty sure Dumar went down there, a couple of other brothers, and they came back, right? And they told us about, it was a brother down there named Tin Can, and that was, back in the days, that was before, any teaching classes. I just remember that we wanted to talk to Tin Can about that. Like Tin Can. What's that mean? You know, but those was kind of the first of me knowing about the brothers outside of New York. Kasib Shah. I actually just got a chance. It was on a Zoom call though. But I saw Tin Can for the first time, you know, uh, in all those years. But he definitely, I couldn't like Tin Can. Tin Can, I was, that was, listen, man, you know, at the time when they told us that, right, you could have just dropped blood in the water. Tin Can. Yeah, he got the knowledge. What kind of name is that? See, that was, I didn't have the same degree of understanding. Sham guy, can you remember Umala talking about Tin Can too, right? Wow. We really got to straighten this out, man. But you name yourself what you want to name yourself. You just gotta live it out. Divine Understanding said that's right and exactly got in the 90s here in Divine Allah. I don't know that particular brother, but my educator, Lord Hashim, did make now I was born. Oh, so you've heard of Tin Can in that event where they invited the guys down there. But you gotta remember too, at that time, like I think most of the nation, not the nation, but like the other regions, really, it might have been a couple of people there, but a lot of those other regions just started getting populated in the 90s. Right? Love Eternal. Love Eternal was here today. We was talking about uh an event where one of those same kinds of things, man, where that's a long story. Y'all probably heard it on Last Shot's channel. Last Shot was there. Was Umar an examiner? Uh, uh, see, everybody kind of had their own, everybody has, their own teaching style. You know what I'm saying? Umar wasn't really a particular kind of person to ask you a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was the type of person like Umar. He was the type of person, right, that you almost got to do psychology with Umar. Yeah, you got to go ask him something that gets him upset. And then that's when he started dropping signs. Like, look, he's bombing. You know what I mean? But look, in the midst of that, he's answering the question. So, he was a person that, you know, uh, it wasn't the same as say, Prince or positive influence in those brothers when you come around and get ice these days Greek. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, but like I give you an example, right? When they talking about the power degree, me and some brothers, whoever it is, we're going through the power degree in the 1 to 10. And so I can't recall how it comes up 1969 at the age of 40. Right. So whatever, however, it's we reached the point where it's like, Allah was not born in 1929. So we going back and forth and we go over to ask Umar, you know what I'm saying? Yo, God, what year Allah was born? Yo, G, he went off on us. Y'all don't know when Allah was born, man. So that was Umar. You know what I'm saying? The different people they had like Dumont, he'd build with you and he'd take you up, and if he see you can't fly, he set you back down. Umar and Prince, yeah, I seen them together. The most memorable from Dumont, not no specific thing, you know, uh, like in terms of a specific fact, but his dexterity with mathematics, man, was uh, at the time it was amazing to me. You know, the way he could use the numbers, and just, go through the degrees, what he used to call cross referencing. And that's what he called it, cross referencing. His cross referencing was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And that ability, like there's lots of things, in the midst of this cross referencing that I learned, but that science itself and how to cross referencing and see the same character appearing here, there, the same principle appearing there throughout the lessons, you know what I'm saying? And throughout life, uh, he was phenomenal at that. See, it's difficult to say with those brothers too, especially a brother like Dumar, because he was one of the brothers that Umar was one of the brothers too that Sabu, Universal, uh William Harrison, for what was worth at that time, it was certain people that like when they built, when you went to the rally and they built, they answered a whole bunch of questions that you had that you, whatever reason, you didn't get a chance to ask. Well, I definitely made sure I caught certain people when they went up there. Right, he walk you through the lessons like connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? You know, Universal was also uh Universal was phenomenal with that. You know, I mean, the first time was that the first time I met him? I know the first time I saw him Bill at the rally, you know, he was another brother, man, that just with the math, man, and he had the diamonds and the furs and the jag, you know what I'm saying? But it was the understanding cipher day. And he was up there, he said, one who understands the cipher is one who masters civilization. Because master is 13 and civilization is 17. At the time, I had no idea you could do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you get in knowledge, you learning how to count. We going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you teach somebody doing algebra one day or something. You know what I'm saying? So he was another brother that when him and Dumar built it, like it opened up a whole new world. Like it wasn't just what they told you, but that science of how they got to there, you was on a different level. Which Universal, the Flavor Man. The Flavor Man, he returns to the essence and like 94, maybe 95. But those brothers was like that. To, have a conversation with them, right, was to raise your level. Then you got the brothers like Ahmed that see you might come around for years and not really know who Ahmed is because he's not grandstanding, you know, he's the type of person where, when you look at him, like, if somebody told you, like, yo, there's a guy around here, man, and yo, look, man, nobody, you don't want to mess with him, man, this brother, man, and you see him, like, this guy? Yeah, that guy. See, all of those are the people, like I said, you got people right now, they have commercials that's done about, you hear, people would talk a lot about them and they say others, but there was other people, man, that, they was I think those was the brothers that was, you know, dropping the knowledge and wisdom when I got it. Was I there for the blood rally when Red Rose came through? I mean, I don't know how that uh got, it was a regular rally. You know what I'm saying? You know, the people who came, it wasn't like they was unknown to the rally. There was people that was born in the nation. You know what I'm saying? How that went out into the world as like some type of impactful event. I don't know. But yeah, I was there. I've been got in the 60s. Okay, now look, I'm gonna tell you this one last time, son. Sham God does not have an R in his name. See, I got the math in Medina. You gotta watch that. You gotta, you gotta watch that kind of thing right there. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it probably is. Like I said, I know them. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, so maybe for me, you know what I'm saying, it didn't really seem like that. It didn't seem like nothing out of the ordinary because, the people, you know, that they came with and everything, and the people, you know, who, you know, I guess you could say was at the head of that, you know, I grew up with them. So, you know, we had been coming to the rally, so I didn't really think nothing of it. Who's Medina more serious about USA or Saheem? Uh, see, Saheem has the loudest branch, but there's no how would you say I don't think they more serious about one or the other. You know that, plus uh, you know, some things is simple arithmetic. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, in terms of, you know, people being better or a better teacher or whatever, or people having more love, but you know, Saheem was around for longer. Yeah, the longevity versus the influence of the flag. You know, yeah, I mean, you know, like you know, my answer is that Saheem has the loudest branch. But at any rate, it looks like we've run our course for the day. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button so we can get the word out. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, in between time, we got our 2 days in. I don't know if we're gonna get any more in, but you know, it's been marvelous. You know what I'm saying? Next week we should be back. Uh, you know, we haven't caught our exact time of 7 o'clock yet, but you know, we'll get down to business. You know, in the meantime, in between time, uh, we'll sign off and say peace.